If you haven't subscribed to our channel, hit the subscribe button. Then do press the notification bell to get future updates to all the tech related contents and videos.
Hey, what's happening guys? I'm Jayant Das. Welcome to Tech Junkie with an O. So from today I have started a new series and it's called TTE, Tech Talk with Experts. So from today onwards, if I happen to visit any tech event, I will be taking the opinions, suggestions and the answers to the questions asked by me from the experts about the event. So recently I got to attend the Global Azure Bootcamp. The term global signifies that this event was conducted throughout the world across many places on April 22nd, which also happened to be the International Earth Day. So my place of visit was the ITER, where we had amazing sessions of Azure. We got to learn a lot about cloud computing. We had IoT with Azure, Swift with Azure and Ruby on Rails with Azure. It was a flamboyant event organized by Microsoft software developer community. At the end of the day, I got to interview the two greats of MSDC Odisha, the charismatic panjandrum, Mr. Tadit Dash, and the travel geek, Mr. Jayant Rajwani. So after this video, you will be seeing a short footage of what happened on that day, and then there are the interviews. Go check him out. Hey, what's happening guys? I'm Jayant Das. Welcome to Tech Junkie with an O. Today we are at ITER attending Global Azure Bootcamp. The event is almost over, or it's totally over. So I thought, why not talk with the backbone of this event? The person standing on my right doesn't need any introduction. But for those few who don't know him, he's the one and only Tadit Dash, the first person from Odisha to have the position of Microsoft's most valuable professional. The position he is in speaks a lot about himself. He's a motivational speaker, entrepreneur, and an organizer of such kind of events. So Tadit Bhaiya slash Sir. I call him Bhaiya slash Sir because when you look at him, he's so young. You call him Bhaiya. But then you look at his array of achievements and then you find out how he's the most accomplished youth of our country representing our state, and you call him Sir. So Tadit Bhaiya slash Sir, do tell them something about yourself.
That was a, very good introduction actually. So I didn't know anything. I was overwhelmed with joy. So
he's too generous. I forgot to mention that.
So yeah. So I'm a software developer by profession, and I do work for 8 hours a day. Okay. I do a lot of community activities like. I represent MSDC Odisha, that is Microsoft Developers Community Odisha. Then we also organize events for CSAR Corner, which is a national level, community which supports technical events all over the India. Okay. Then I do mentoring for Imagine Cup as well. I do mentor students in schools and colleges for their projects and all. Okay. So that is me. So I'm dedicated to the community. So what I have got from the community, I'm giving back to the society now.
Well, thank you so much. You heard a lot about him, but that's not at all a lot, because if you get to know him, it will take years for all he has done, all his achievements. Okay, now the next question is, we have had this amazing session of Global Azure Bootcamp. So how is it important in improvising the knowledge and culture, the things that people know about, like many don't know about cloud computing. So how attending these events can actually sharpen their knowledge?
Okay, so here is the deal. So as you know, the world is moving towards cloud, big data and all. So students are confined to their syllabus and all. So yes, right. These particular subjects, cloud computing or IoT, Ruby on Rails, so these are the buzzwords which students don't know and they don't have in the syllabus. So we as a community, and we have experts in all these fields. So what we do is we organize events and such kind of events actually help students to grasp the concept from the beginner level to the advanced level. Because as you see, so we have beginner level sessions also. So we started from the cloud computing, then we moved towards Azure, what Azure is. Then we started to put in different programming languages like ROR, then Ruby, then Swift inside that. So you see how important this will be for the students. So because they have to go to the companies and they have to build applications using these languages with Azure or with cloud, as I say. So that's my point here.
So you heard the man. Attending these sessions will help you learn about the abstract things like you do not know before, and things you can get to know after attending these sessions will actually improve your knowledge about. Now the last question, and we will end it here. What do you think should be the name of the upcoming version of Android, that is Android O?
Okay, so that's a very beautiful question, I would say. So
Thank you.
Oreo or Orange?
Any specific reason?
Because I like them both.
I get it. Thank you so much. We had Mr. Tadit Dash here. He answered all our questions efficiently, as efficient he is. So thank you so much, sir.
Thanks to you, Tech Junkie team, for inviting me for speaking. Like this is my first interview, by the way, on video. So okay, great. Thank you.
We are truly honored by your presence. Thanks once again. What's happening, guys? This time we have the tall man with specs. He is Mr. Jayant Rajwani. Well, he is a software developer at Mindfirst Solution. And to start about his introduction, he has broken 14 iPhones. So if you want your phone to be safe, you bet not give it to him. So let's start straight with him. Jayant, sir, do tell them something about yourself.
Okay, so I'm a technology enthusiast, as you might know me. Some of you people right here with me know me, some of you don't. So I'm a software engineer at Mindfirst Solutions. As a hobby, I do hacking and stuff. So I break stuff, I create stuff. I like Internet of Things. I've been exploring IoT for almost last 6 months, having organized workshops and stuff for students. So for students and professionals. So that's all about me, nothing much to know. I like technologies, and it's a good thing at an early age. If you're getting involved with technologies, you can do a lot. I got into software development since I was in class 9th. So I was from ICSE board. I started learning Java. So when I started about it, it was like, why am I studying this? I really don't like it. So then with time, I started failing in computers. Okay, I don't know programming. Like literally, I started my career because my dad was from a commerce background. So I started my career taking computer science because I wanted to do something different. So I started, and it was a very big failure for me. So I somehow passed class 9th, it was 10th now, and in the first term itself I got 20 out of 100 in computer science. Okay, so it was boards, everyone at family is like, what are you doing, you don't want to study, just leave everything and we'll buy you a rickshaw or something. So that was a time when I realized, okay, I'll have to study. So there was some mentor whom I got at that time, and he started explaining me like from basics, like if we write import java.io.star semicolon, so why do we write it? IO stands for input output and star is everything. So if we have to do all operations in input output, we can use import java. So we are importing that library. So that is how I started learning. And with time in class 10th itself, first term I was 20, and then pre-boards I was 81, and boards I got 92 in computers, which was my highest. Okay. So from lowest to highest in one single year, because it caught my interest up. And moving on, in class 11th I completed all my class 12 syllabus, and in 12th I developed my first software. It was for school library of mine, so St. Joseph's College School Library.
So you were a developer even back then when you were a student?
So that was the time when I started development.
Okay.
So coming to college, I got into Nokia Asha development, Asha series. I was one of 300 premium developers at Nokia. Okay. So I continued development, and I was developing for Asha series. Then I contributed some stuff in Mozilla. Okay. So I was a FSA. I organized 24 hours hackathon, continuous 24-hour hackathons in colleges. And moving on, I kept moving and developing. I was a part of MUGH Hyderabad and Mozilla Community Hyderabad. Mm-hmm. So recently I moved to Bhubaneswar. I'm a part of MSDC Odisha and GDG Bhubaneswar now. Mm-hmm. So that's all about me, I guess.
Well, you heard the man. You need to trade your places with the paths. Sometimes that road will not lead where you want yourself to get into. But you did not answer the most wanted question, like why did you break 14 iPhones? Isn't that number huge in itself?
I didn't break it intentionally. I like whenever it had some fault, I used to open it myself and try changing parts of it on my own. I didn't like to go to someone and ask them to replace some parts of my phone. So I used to do it on my own. I like opening stuff. I have been opening a lot of gadgets, phones, tablets, laptops on my own. So I had like what you call it. I had
Hobby, passion, interest.
Yeah, interest, what would you call it exactum? I'm not getting it. Yeah, I have that enthusiasm of getting into things, like seeing what's inside. I used to open devices and stuff. So that's how it all started, and my phones just kept falling and breaking up. So that's not something.
So you heard he's like the Jayant the Explorer. Now the second question, people do not know much about cloud computing. It's a very interesting stuff. It should be spread worldwide. So what's your idea on it? How it should be spread?
Cloud computing is computing on the cloud. So it is being provided by many companies, many tech giants like Google, Amazon, and Microsoft. Of course, we had today Global Azure Bootcamp. So you have computing platforms available. So people just have to know that it's available to be able to use it, right? So or else you have to set up your own systems locally, go and buy stuff. You don't explore. So for finding this stuff out, you can everywhere in the world today there are communities running in most of the cities. Like we have two in Bhubaneswar, MSDC, Odisha, GDG Bhubaneswar. We have a Mozilla community, we have Dribble community. So there are so many communities. So just find your interest and try to get into these communities. So they'll lead you to events where you can gain knowledge and explore more and more stuff.
Okay. Last question, and we will end it here. What do you think should be the name of the upcoming version of Android?
Android O is the next version of Android. So actually there's not much they can offer in the name Android for Android O. So Google has been looking for more, and already preview version is already out, and its name is Android O itself. But there are speculations that they won't name it Android Oreo or Android Oatmeal something. So nothing official from Google as such, but it might be called Android Oreo, or Android Home might just continue.
Thank you so much, Jayant sir, because we are acting like professionals. He is a professional, I am not. So we had Mr. Jayant Rajwani on our channel. Thank you so much for lending us your time. So finally we have reached towards the end of the video, and it's time for acknowledgement. The first person whom I would like to thank from the core of my heart is of course Tadit sir. Things were in doldrums, my camera was dead, the other cameras were out of power. We weren't able to find the right place to film for the interview. We weren't able to set the microphone as well. But sir stood with us in such kind of situations. He didn't yell at us, he didn't shout at us, although he had every right to do. So he showed how a true gentleman behaves in such kind of situation. Of course, he is the most modest, sober, decent person you would ever see, and I would just keep on adding adjectives about a person who is of course down to earth. So thank you so much sir, you have been influencing people from the start, but on that day you influenced even a bit more. Thanks a lot for that. The second person I would like to thank is of course Mr. Jayant Rajwani. He had to leave for Puri as soon as the event was over, but he stayed with us, he stood with us, he completed his interview and then he went. Thank you so much sir for your patience and for answering to the questions honestly. The third person whom I would like to thank is my friend Srinath Narela. Just like I said, when our cameras were dead, he was the guy who saved us from the ignominy of being evicted from there. The entire recording was shot on his iPhone 6. So thanks a lot buddy. If it wasn't for you, we would be listening this interview in an audio. A ton of thanks for what you did. Then the last person whom I would like to thank is the one who always goes uncredited. Is none other than my friend Saurav Kumar Nanda. Now there are two Saurav Kumar Nandas. One who belongs to MSDC, the enthusiastic person who always brings in the vibe with him on every event he attends. Then there's my friend Saurav, who always initiates everything but is again the one who gets unnoticed. Saurav was the guy who held the camera for more than 15 minutes, although the recording was of less than 10 minutes, but there were many bloopers. He stood still, he stayed firm. So thank you, friend, for what you did. It's really commendable and I owe you this one. Lastly, I would like to thank all the members of MSDC Odisha and my friends for being there, for making it successful. This is one of the many episodes of Tech Talk with experts and there are more to come. So keep anticipating for this. Do follow the Facebook page of MSDC Odisha. I have mentioned the link in the description box below. Follow our two Facebook pages, facebook.com/techjunkie, facebook.com/thepassionatephotographer101, facebook.com/shree998 and instagram.com/shree998 to get updated about all the future contents. So that's it from our side and we will be back with another video, with another interview of different people on different event. Till then, take care. See ya. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm Srinandan Das and you are watching Tech